some headbutting over that.
Okay, and in fact, there was a division of labor made, or decision to divide labor at some point, where the DEA and other law enforcement agencies were essentially assigned certain doctors to investigate, and that LAPD and the coroner was going to continue with the homicide investigation involving Dr. Conrad Murray, correct?
Yes, sir.
And is that what you're referencing?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, you indicated that you were in robbery homicide on June 25th, 2009, but you also said you've been in robbery homicide for a year and a half. Were you rotated out at some point in time in the last year or so?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
That occurred when Chief Beck took control of the department through managed attrition. There's hundreds, but quite a few officers were reassigned during that time, and it went from last one in the division to first one out.
Okay, and have you since returned back to robbery homicide where you currently are assigned?
Yes, sir.
All right. So on June 25th, 2009, how long had you been assigned to robbery homicide division?
Approximately 1 week.
But you'd been in homicide for a number of years?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, so you'd been 1 week assigned to robbery homicide, and then you were given the lead assignment on the death investigation involving Michael Jackson.
That's correct, sir.
Now, in going in through this investigation, had you been prepared in any manner as far as medical training or medical terminology, or have any background in that area whatsoever?
I was not prepared, and I do not have any kind of medical background.
In fact, when Conrad Murray, in the interview, states that he made the decision to administer milk to Michael Jackson, you actually asked hot milk or cold milk.
Yes.
So you had no idea what that was referencing at that time?
That's correct.
Now, on June 29, 2009, with the recovery of the bags and the documentation of that recovery by Alyssa Fleet, how many saline bags or IV bags were recovered?
1.
And you document that note in a paragraph. I mean, you document that recovery in a paragraph referencing the bag as well as a 100 milliliter propofol bottle being in the Costco bag. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was that the one saline bag or IV bag that was recovered on June 29, 2009?
That is.
So when you indicated that a bottle of lorazepam was found in an empty IV bag, how are you using that terminology?
An empty IV bag would be the outer wrappings for the actual saline bag itself that the saline bag comes in.
Okay. And actually that outer wrapping of the saline bag is what is shown in People's 140, this bag of debris. This actual bag is what a saline bag comes in. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
And so the lorazepam that you document in your notes was a bottle of lorazepam found in People's 140, this debris bag or IV bag, with the other debris.
Yes, sir.
Right. Within the Costco bag.
That's correct.
Were you present when Alyssa Fleet initially removed the actual cut saline bag with the propofol bottle inside of it? Were you present?
I was not.
Okay. Did you observe the bag and the propofol bottle once it was laid out on the table?
Yes.
Okay, and is that what you were documenting in your notes?
Yes.
And showing you People's, Defense Exhibit M. Does this show on the table, again, this bag that held a saline bag? Is this the bag you were referring to in Defense M that contained the lorazepam bottle that I'm pointing to here in Defense M?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that the bag that you were referring to then?
Yes.
Now, during the search of June 26, 2009, you've indicated the empty diazepam and empty lorazepam prescription pill bottles were found in the master bathroom area. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you attribute any evidentiary value to those items at that time?
None whatsoever.
Was it essentially debris or trash at that time in your eyes as part of the investigation?
Yes.
But you did recover the items and place them on the countertop there to photograph them?
That's correct.
Were attempts made prior to August 31st, 2009 to interview Fahim Muhammad and Alberto Alvarez and Michael Amir Williams?
They were.
And why did time elapse between for that interview to take place when it eventually took place on August 31st, 2009?
Basically due to scheduling conflicts. We were available, they weren't.
And other times were they available and you weren't?
That's correct. Or vice versa.
Okay. Defense counsel asked you about a number of photographs and asked you the dates of those photographs, and you said you did not know the dates. Do you recall that questioning?
I do.
You have documented, in other words, each set of photographs from a particular date is documented per date and given a certain identified number. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so you can ascertain that information. It's just simply as you looked at them here today, you don't have that information short of going through your files.
Right, those photographs that were shown on the overhead there did not depict the sequential numbers that are assigned to our photographs.
Okay. And photographs were taken on June 25th, 2009.
Yes, they were.
Photographs were taken on June 26th, 2009.
Yes, sir.
Photographs were taken on June 29th, 2009.
Yes, sir.
Photographs were taken on August 20th, 2009.
Yes, sir.
And photographs were taken on August 28th, 2009.
Yes.
You did book and you recover and book about 14 minutes of surveillance video from the home.
Yes, sir.
And it showed the arrival of a BMW that was previously identified by Dr. Murray shortly before 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's correct.
It also showed the arrival of an Escalade shortly before Dr. Murray's arrival, or a large Escalade-type vehicle.
That's correct.
And then Dr. Murray's vehicle, and then sometime shortly thereafter, 2 large Escalade-type vehicles arriving as well?
Yes.
Are you aware of the general layout of where the video cameras are on the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they're all exterior video monitors or surveillance cameras?
That's correct.
Showing you people 6 for identification. And Detective, do you have the pointer there with you?
I do.
Are you aware that there were on this day 5 working exterior video cameras?
That's correct.
Okay, can you, looking at people 6, can you indicate with the pointer the approximate location of each of those working cameras?
Yes. The first one would be here at the entrance to the gate area, which is located on a keypad.
Okay, and you're indicating the lower left corner of the photograph. So that would be on the outside of the gates. If someone's pulling up and pushing the keypad, a camera would shine essentially on the driver's face?
That's correct.
Okay.
Along the street here, there's another entrance to a garage underneath the residence, also on a keypad, and that camera was inoperative.
Okay. And that's, for the record, you pointed to the leftmost portion of the residence. The residence is essentially located on a corner. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so on the other street, there's a secondary garage with another keypad, and that camera was inoperative on that day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's 2 cameras.
And then you had one on either side of the back side of the residence that faced towards the pool area and the backyard, if you will.
Okay, so that would be camera 3 and 4.
Okay. And then you also had one in this area here that would shine down onto the driveway area.
Okay, and you're indicating to the right portion of the residence, and it would be pointing again along the exterior perimeter of the property, outward from the house?
That's correct.
Okay, and then the last camera?
Was in this area here, and that would be facing the gate that we've seen various photographs of.
Okay. So no cameras showed any door entrances or anything of that nature?
No, it was primarily an exterior shots that these cameras were set up to take.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have nothing further.
Thank you. Recross-examination. Mr. Chernoff.
So your testimony is that you meant when you meant by empty IV located in empty IV bag, you meant bag where IV bag would have been. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Essentially all the trash and debris was in.
How do you know that's the bag where the IV bag should be?
That's what I was informed.
By who?
Ms. Fleek?
So you apparently thought it was you. You have a, what's our next? Is it P? QRS?
No, it would be, I think, Tango, TT.
When you noted empty IV bag,
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
no, it's not offered to prove the truth.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's on the projector, Your Honor. I'm objecting this improper way.
It's
Okay, I'll sustain the objection to posting and everything. You can ask the question. The objection's overruled.
when you noted that there was a lorazepam bottle in an empty IV bag, in your notes you underlined located in empty IV bag, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You starred located in empty IV bag, didn't you?
Yes.
So you obviously thought it was important that you found a empty vial of lorazepam in an empty IV bag, right?
That's correct.
It was important enough for you to star it and to underline it, right?
Yes.
And you identified the lorazepam as lot number 098085, didn't you?
I'd have to look at my notes.
You may post if you wish, TT.
Thank you. It's SS. No, it's not.
I think we marked it and then we took it away, so.
So a TT, okay. Right?
Yes, sir.
But when you talked about the 100 milliliter vial of propofol, this is to you.
It's a form uniform.
Still in dark blue bag, one empty IV bag, one empty vial of residue liquid propofol, right?
Yes.
You never said anything about it being in the IV bag.
That's correct.
But the prior note, you did. Right?
Yes, sir.